Good morning, everyone. With today's post, quite frankly, I can't find a picture that does what I'm going to talk about justice. So I'm just going to tell you guys about it. So with the, how should we say, the catastrophe at Gettysburg for Lee's army, Lee decided on the day of the 4th that they were going to withdraw, actually late the night of the 3rd. And so on the afternoon around 4 o'clock, Lee actually put General Imboden, sorry, I'm butchering his name, one of the cavalry officers he refused to use in reconnaissance, he actually put him in charge of organizing the retreat back into Virginia. And so about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, they began moving bit by bit of the army out. Wagon trains here, you got the wounded, you got the equipment, you got the soldiers, you got the cavalry. It was a big mess the way it all got shuffled around in there. And I've heard conflicting accounts on exactly how long this wagon train was. I read one account where it said it was 17 miles long. And just yesterday, I watched a documentary. I can't forget what it's called. Basically, the Civil War is like the Lee's retreat after Gettysburg. And he did the math with all the loot and stuff they got from all the civilians in Gettysburg, particularly Ewell's Corps. They had so much loot, it was indescribable. He put some numbers at 57 miles. That's how long the wagon train was. And so they had so much stuff heading back through. Now, the part that sticks out to me on this is something I'm not actually going to quote. I can't quote it verbatim, so I'm going to read it. Because historian Shelby Foote, in his Civil War books, and talks about it here. I'm going to read this part about the retreat. So just be patient. This is pretty cool. He talks about Hill and Longstreet, well beyond Fairfield before sundown, had no such difficulties. The latter, in fact, was in high good spirits when he called a halt that evening, conveniently near a roadside tavern where his staff had arranged for a dinner to be served. Apparently, the troops outside were getting theirs too, for in the course of the meal there was a sound of scuffling in the adjoining chamber, followed by the appearance of a hard-faced farm wife who pushed her way into the dining room, exclaiming as she advanced, "Where's the general? Where's this great officer? Good heavens, they are killing our fat hogs! Our milk cows are going!" On the march northward, such a complaint would have brought sudden and heavy reprisal on the offenders. But now, quote, "Yes, madam," old Peter told her, shaking his head in disapproval. "It is very sad, and this sort of thing has been going on in Virginia for more than 2 years. Very sad." So just to show the different disposition of the Army of Northern Virginia first when they were coming in versus when they were leaving. And Longstreet did bring up a valid point. It's just kind of the way it goes sometimes. What's going on in your farm, this has been going on in Virginia for the last 2 years now. So they had difficulty getting across. At first, Meade got balled out because Lincoln wanted him to go right after Lee. But it wasn't necessarily in the cards because the army was battered and bloodied. So Meade did eventually get moving, but right away it was not safe. Just like, how McClellan knew it was not safe to immediately start chasing Lee. Granted, McClellan took considerably longer, but that's a whole other story. So after many situations, Lee was finally able to get the Army of Northern Virginia back across into Virginia. So those are some thoughts on that. Take care, folks.